Hey everybody, have you ever been on a plane where someone stuck their feet, seriously, just stuck their feet in your space? And what did you do about it? And why would anybody do that? And I had that happen once, and I kind of looked and I said, hey, I remember it was one flight I was on where I was in the middle seat and there was a person and their head leaned this way and a person their head leaned that way. And I thought, I gotta get up. So I got up and I stood at the back of the plane and I talked to the stewardess in the galley for a good, I would say, an hour and a half until I got to a point where, you know what? I felt like it was I could sit down again. But I also said, hey, look, I need some space here, folks, because you are encroaching on my space. I got you over here. I got you over there. I'm hemmed in, hemmed in. In those situations, folks, my recommendation is talk. Just say, excuse me, I just need a little space here. 9 times out of 10, people will be accommodating of your request. I have never met that one time out of 10, ever. And I hope I never do. If you're uncomfortable, get up, go to the galley, ask for coffee, and strike up a conversation with the stewardess. If you're saying you're introverted, you know what? This is a good time to practice, well, not being introverted, to talk, come up with some conversation like, hey, what kind of coffee is being sold on the plane or given out? Because chances are the stewardess or steward is going to give you the coffee for free anyway. So strike up a conversation about the coffee, you know, or sports. My favorite team, the A's, the Raiders, the Warriors, the Mets, the Cowboys, the Jets, the Bucks, whatever. Okay. Or maybe it's Caitlin Clark, who should be at Cal. I'm just saying, right? Do anything other than sit there and let that person stick their feet in your space because that is your space. You're paying for that. It's not just the seat, but it's down below too. All that's yours. You have a right to enjoy it. And if anyone wants to stick their feet in your area, don't get into a confrontation with them. That seems to be the norm today. No, no, no. Don't do that. You have the button at the top. Ding, press it. Have the flight attendants come over and say, I have a space issue, and for some particular reason, this good person will not put their feet someplace else other than my space. Can you help? Do that. Now, for those of you out there who think, well, you're being a wuss or something, you know what? You deserve what's going to happen next. Because if you believe you need to tick on that person 30,000 feet in the air, you don't know what their mentality is, what they're armed or anything, you're taking not just your life in your hands, but you're also placing in jeopardy the people around you and those on the plane. Why do that? Okay? If this person is really that messed up, let the flight attendants figure that out and they can surreptitiously contact law enforcement, land the plane, and get that person into the Who Scout. All right? That's not your issue. All right? What I do is when I say my piece, I have never had a problem with anyone who insisted on leaving their feet there. Now, maybe the person has a cast and they can't move. I get that. I understand that. So then we have to work together because that person cannot help their condition, right? I get that. But for those who can help their condition, different story. You stick your feet in the aisle, not like all the way in the aisle, but just halfway. There's a little crevice you can find on this side if you're on the aisle seat. If you are by the window seat, you can actually lean over and you can lean down and lean against the window, right? And put your feet in there. There are a lot of ways to accommodate that person can accommodate you being in the middle and not stick their feet in your space. They've got space. Both aisle and window especially, they've got space. They don't need to do that to you. Anyone who does that to you, they're just being rude. Or maybe they can't help it and they've got an ailment. But the only way you're going to find out how to negotiate that is by talking to them. You can't sit there and say nothing and they get mad at them because they're not saying anything. Being an introvert is not the answer here. You got to talk. All right. But also smile. Maybe buy them a libation of their favorite something, food, whatever. Do something to make them happy. Tell a joke. Some combination of all the above. But for God's sakes, don't get into a confrontation with them. Just don't. Life's too short. It's not worth it. Subscribe to Zenny62 on YouTube. I'll see you.